Yo, what is fucking cracking? It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I feel like I ain't been on here in like a month. I think it's been like 2 weeks, but it feels like a month. Feels like a month. It feels like a month. So, I have no idea what I'm gonna talk about today, y'all, but I'm gonna play a few videos that piqued my interest. Shout out to Nidus, shout out to Venus, shout out to everybody who's eventually gonna come through. Y'all know I'm the most inconsistent part-time YouTuber the world has ever seen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't expect a million people to be here because I am very inconsistent. Yo, let me tell y'all, let me start off, man. All this rap beef is wild, man. You got Drake, you got Rose, you got J. Cole, you got Kendrick. It's a lot of rap beef, bro. It's a lot of rap beef. And I'm trying to figure out how I feel about it. Part of me really don't want to see niggas beefing, but I ain't gonna lie. It's good to see niggas actually rapping. So far, that Kendrick verse was hard as fuck. I ain't gonna even lie to you. That shit was hard. But then J. Cole came back and spanked the nigga. Pause. That shit was wild. I heard Drake's verse yesterday too. That shit was, he did his thing. I didn't hear what Rose said yet. I want to hear that, but shout out to niggas actually rapping, man. Shout out to niggas rapping. I'm gonna drop this link early because I'm just on here popping shit. You know, nothing heavy. Just want to get back in the swing of things. So I'm gonna drop this link early. So as people come in, whenever you want to come up, you can come up. Got a bunch of shit to talk about. Yeah, in these next couple hours. And if I got to do this shit by myself, I'm gonna do it by myself too. So I want y'all to know that. Let me pin the link, which is something I still don't know how to do, but let me figure that out. Which is all right. So that is absolutely pinned to the top. All right. So look, so far, Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole. I'm so far gonna give the edge. I gotta go. Oh shit. Drake kind of just dissed everybody, so it felt more like a general fucking diss. So it's kind of hard to judge that. And I only listened to Drake's verse one time, so I really don't have a grasp of it. I think I'm gonna play it, as a matter of fact, because let me see. I think I'm about to play this because I want to really get a feel for what he said. Let me see. Let me cue this bitch up. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play this Drake jump, and I'm gonna see. I want to really listen to this shit. Let me see. All right, here we go. Gonna play this shit.
Nobody #1 fan. Your first #1, I had to put it in your hand. You pussies can't get booked outside America for nan. I'm out in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. I'm the hit maker y'all depend on. Tough on record in my city, it was friend zone. You won't never take no chain off of us. How the fuck you big stepping with a size 7 men's on? This the walk with the bike, nigga, what's up? I know my picture on the wall when y'all cook up. Extortion, baby, whole career you been shook up. Cause top so you drop and give me 50 like some push-ups. Your last one brick, you really not on shit. They make excuses for you cause they hate to see me lit. Put your contract.
Wait, time out. So he talking about somebody getting extorted? Who he talking about? Is he talking about Future getting extorted? Bro, that's wild. Damn, hold on. I got to bring this back, bro. I got to bring this back. Let me bring it back. Let me see. We got
Look, I could never be nobody number one fan. Your first number one, I had to put it in your hand. You pussies can't get booked outside America for nan. I'm out in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. I'm the hit maker y'all depend on. Tough on record in my city, it was friend zone. You won't never take no chain off of us. How the fuck you been stepping with a size 7 men's on? This the bark with the bite, nigga, what's up? I know my picture on the wall when y'all cook up. Extortion, baby, whole career you been shook up. This top, so you drop and give me 50 like some push-ups. Your last one brick, you really not on shit. They make excuses for you cause they hate to see me lit. Pull your contract cause we gotta see the split. Hey, the way you doing splits, bitch, your pants might rip. You better do that motherfucking show inside the bitty. Maroon 5 need a verse, you better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties. Top say drop, you better drop and give them 50. Pip squeak pipe down, you ain't in no big three. Scissor got you white down, Travis got you white down, Savage got you white down. Like your label, boy, you in a scope right now. And you gon' feel the aftermath of what I write down. I'm at the top of the mountain, so you tight now. Just had this talk with your ass, I had to hike down. Big difference between Mike then and Mike now. What the fuck is this, a 20v1, nigga? What's a prince to a king? He a son, nigga. I get more love in the city that you from, nigga. Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga. Yeah, I'm the sixth guy, I'm the front runner. Y'all nigga manager was Chud's little blunt runner. Claim the six and you boys ain't even come from it. And when you boys got rich, you had to run from it. Cash blowing, able bread out here tricking. Shit we do for bitches, he doing for niggas. Jet switch, change, wicked, wicked, wicked. Spinning like you tryna fuck, boy, you tripping. Drizzy Chippendale, probably got your bitch Chanel. I just got them done, boy, don't make me at the Chippendale. Rolling loud stage, I was turned, that was slick as hell. Lucky that your dog, Lil Ben, doesn't kiss and tell. Husband kissing, man, don't tell me about no switches. I be rocking every fucking chain I own next visit. I be with some bodyguards like Whitney. Top say, drop your little midget ass, better fucking, hey, better drop and give me 50. Hey, drop and give me 50. Drop and give me 50. Niggas really got me out here talking like I'm 50. Ay, niggas really got me out here rapping what I'm living. I might take the latest girl a couple like I'm Ricky. Can't believe he jumping in, this nigga turning 50. Every song that made it on the chart he got from Drizzy. Worry about whatever going on with you and hey, shout out to the hooper that be busting out the gritty. I know why you mad, nigga, I ain't even tripping. I ain't even rapping after this, I'm way too busy. This for all the top dogs, drop and give me 50. Drop. And that fucking song y'all got is not starting beef with us. This shit been brewing in a pot, now I'm heating up. I don't care what Cole think, that dot shit was weak as fuck. Champagne tripping, he is not fucking easing up. Nigga called up top to see a top want a piece it up. Top want a piece it up, top want a piece it up. Nah, pussy, now you on your own when you speaking up. You done roll deep to this, it's not fucking deep enough. Begging Costa not, well you not fucking beating us. Numbers wise, I'm out of here, you not fucking creeping up. Money wise, I'm out of here, you not fucking sneaking up. Corn by your show money, merch money, feed us. I'ma let you niggas work it out because I seen enough. This ain't even everything I know, don't wake up beaming up. This ain't even everything I know, don't wake up beaming up. Drop and give me 50, all you
What's up, Missy?
niggas teaming up. What? Teaming up, but all of y'all falling like some dominoes. Bros turning hoes, dog, like I ain't got enough of those. I can't wait to see how far you niggas get to reaching now. This the closest thing you niggas getting to a feature now. Backpedal gang, cause a few of y'all been reaching out. Y'all drew the line, what the fuck we gotta speak about? Get your fucking head tapped, you niggas get to peeking out. You had a song for 4 years, drop that shit or shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, nigga. It's me twice in my big free, I had to leave you out. Fucking dumbass, nigga.
Fuck. Damn, son. Yo, bruh. Yo. That nigga was shooting at everything moving. I ain't gonna even hold you, bruh. That nigga was shooting at everything moving. What's up, Missy? How you feeling? How you feeling? Happy Sunday. How you feel about this? Missy, you been following this rap beef? Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, now Rick Ross. You been following this? Yo, shit's wild. Salute to my boy Aaron O, wherever he is. You know what I'm saying? You know how I play with this water. That shit is wild. Let me stop sharing that because that shit is, Lord. That shit was wild. So yeah, I think Drake won so far. Yo, but look, I got something I want to talk about while I'm here. I got a lot of shit I want to talk about. The other thing I want to talk about is this whole. Let me see. Where is my? Here's my topic. My topic is. I want to know about Diddy, bro. What y'all think about Diddy? I know y'all been talking about it. I ain't been on the internet. How y'all feel about that shit, man? I know the story is like gaining a whole lot of steam. I don't know, bro. I wanted to really hold my opinion for a while, but damn, I don't know where that shit is. I don't know, man. What do y'all think? So I made a thumbnail, and on the thumbnail, it had a lot of people. It had Diddy, it had Bill Cosby, it had a couple of your favorite pastors, it had R. Kelly. I want to know what y'all think, man. I want to know what y'all think. My question for today is: are black men predators or victims? Are black men predators or victims? I want to know what y'all think about that. What do y'all think? Y'all think it's a lot of black men out here that's predators, or y'all think that we're just victims? We talking about R. Kelly. We talking about Bill Cosby. We talking about Pastor Eddie Long, or Bishop Eddie Long. We talking about Russell Simmons. We talking about Mr. Power Bottom himself, T.D. Jakes. What y'all think, man? Y'all think black men out here victimizing motherfuckers at an alarming rate, or y'all think that it's no more than anybody else, and we're just a victim of media coverage? So this is who we talking about, right? You got Kels all the way to Diddy, and you got this goon nigga up top. Because I'm wondering, do y'all think that violence is really prevalent in our community more so than other communities, or do you think it's reported on more? So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for people to come in, this is what I think. I think that in terms of violence, I do think that we have a violent culture that exists within our culture. What's up, sugar? I think within the black culture, I think there is some violence, but I would love for somebody to convince me of my opinion on it, right? Convince me differently. But I think in terms of violence in the black culture, I think that it's a lot less than we like to admit. I think we make it seem like it's more than it actually is. I think there's a very small number of people that are very fucking violent. What up, Cody? How you feeling, big dog? Travel One, what up? How y'all feel about that? Cody, what you think about that, bro? I think they make it seem like black people are really violent. I don't think that's the case. I think most motherfuckers are very peaceful, very law-abiding citizens, but the motherfuckers that turn up, turn the fuck up. But I think they're the vast minority. So my overall question is, do y'all think that black men are victims or predators? So once again, I want to start off with violence. Okay, that's a good point. Missy said loud minority. Okay, I think that's a very fair answer. I do think it's a loud minority. I do think it's a loud minority. But I think my question overall is, I agree that it's a loud minority, but why is it that it seems like it's the majority? Even when we get on YouTube, it's funny, right? On YouTube, niggas argue and all types of shit and threaten to fight each other and find each other and kill each other and all types of shit. When we know that most niggas ain't gonna do none of that shit. Most niggas ain't about no action, ain't about no violence. They don't want no problems, rightfully so. I think that's a good thing, right? So in this respect, as it relates to my question, are black men victims or predators? I think a very small amount, are actually predators for sure. They want to find you. They want to take whatever they can from you. They want to find each other, do whatever the fuck they want to do to each other, and that's it. So as it relates to crime, shout out to my bro, Jock. Bro, what's good with you? What's good with you, Brody? What is the word? So that's my question today. Overall, do you think, I wish I knew how to do a poll. I have no fucking idea how to do a poll. Pause. Overall, do you think, oh shit, you an NO Jock? Damn, I didn't even know that. I got to tap in next time I come down there, bro. Let's see what Travel once said. Truthfully, men are the most violent, deviant beings on the planet. Black men fall in various categories of the violence. I think that's an interesting statement, but now look, I'm going to disagree with you and agree with you. You said black men are the most violent, deviant beings on the planet. Well, no, I'm going to disagree with you. You know why? Because you didn't say black men, you said men. Shit. Deviant? Damn. Let me think about this. You said deviant. So deviant meaning departing from usual or accepted standards, especially in social or sexual behavior. Can I disagree with that? Damn, I think you bring up a good point. Now, I do think the most diabolical motherfucker on the planet, I think it's the Caucasians, right? I think it's the mayonnaise people. I think they're the most devious, diabolical people on this planet. I think they have a great marketing campaign to make it seem like it's us, especially black men, but ain't nobody in the history of history worse than white people, especially the white man. So I got to be fair. You didn't say black men, you said men. So I think the most violent, absolutely, men are the most violent, specifically white men, not black men. In terms of the most, you said deviant. I guess I would have to agree with that. Now, the most devious may be women. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because y'all will put a battery in a motherfucker back and before you know it, a motherfucking nuclear bomb is, you know what I'm saying, dropping somewhere. So you know what? I can't disagree with you. I can't disagree with you. Yep, you wouldn't put a race on it. I feel you. Yeah, I mean, men are the wildest. Men are the most violent. But y'all be wilding though, son. Like y'all violence is a little different though. Y'all will assault a motherfucker's eardrums. You know what I'm saying? Like all this talking and nagging and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's violence. You know what I'm saying? You know what you do to my eardrums when you know what I'm saying? And then let me tell y'all something else about you women. You know what I'm saying? Online, y'all be bullying men and shit. I be crying when I get in my car when y'all be mad at me and shit. You know what I'm saying? I be crying. I be crying when I run to the car. I'm like, man, they don't love me on YouTube. Oh man, I be crying. Y'all be hurting my feelings, man. Don't I look like I cry a lot? Damn, my crying voice. So look, I want to know what y'all think. I want to get a little consensus. I want to get a slight consensus in the chat. Diddy, is this nigga, if you had to bet 10 grand on it, would you say that this nigga's a predator or he's just a victim of his success and his fame? I want to know what y'all think. Man, how the fuck do you do a poll in this motherfucker? Pause. How do niggas do shit like that? How y'all be doing these fucking... Yo, look, I'm still learning how to work YouTube and all this shit, bro. I don't really know how to do none of this shit. I ain't gonna need to hold you. I really don't. So what do y'all think? Is Diddy a predator or no? Is that nigga... yeah. Damn. Cody said that nigga's fucking boys. I do not doubt that, not one fucking bit. I do not doubt that, not a single bit. Yeah, I think he's under the act. I think he's under the act. Tia, what up? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Tia, I'm just up here talking. I really got questions for people whenever people end up showing up. You know, people be late as hell. And you know what I'm saying? I be late as hell. I ain't gonna even hold you. Let's see. Not a bet yet. What? Not a bet yet based on what's been presented. Okay. So that's a fair statement. So you would make a bet yet based on what's been presented. See, that's where I be with a bunch of this shit. Even the Trey Songz shit. Like we heard a bunch of disturbing shit about Trey Songz, but I'm like, shit. Till the motherfucker go to court and get convicted, I can't really. I ain't gonna convict a motherfucker. I ain't gonna even hold y'all. Let me ask y'all what y'all think too about R. Kelly. I know this is a kind of an old thing talking about Kels, but I know he's trying to appeal to get out. Do y'all feel like he should still be in prison? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all feel like he was really, really guilty of all that shit? Tribal One is not a gambler. I want all the smoke with the women today. I want to bring up all this shit. I want to bring up Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't think Tory did it. Y'all think Tory did it? I don't think Tory did it. I think Kelsey has something to do with that shit. Because maybe the women in the chat can help me out with this. Do we know that y'all learn from the goddamn court proceedings? Do we know why Megan and Kelsey was fighting? I know I watched that trial, and they didn't go at all into why Megan and Kelsey was fighting. Now, my thought process, right? And I'm open to the possibility that I am wrong. My thought process is, goddamn it, if those two were fighting, I can't think of a motherfucker who got a better motive to pop a nigga than a motherfucker that's fighting them. Tori, you said Tori, not Tori, goddamn. Ronald, you said Tori did it. I mean, but I don't feel like it was proven in court. I don't feel like that shit was proven. I'm not saying he's innocent, but at the very least, to me, I think Shorty should be in prison too, Kelsey. I don't feel like she was innocent. Megan been saying they were sharing men. Oh Lord. They were sharing men and Meg caught feelings. God damn. So let me get this straight. So this nigga was community penis. And Megan said, nah, that's just mine. Because what else would they be fighting over? If that nigga was community penis, I mean, the fuck else was they fighting over? Tory had an unfair trial too, so justice had a fair trial. Okay. Yeah, violence against Black women must be stopped. I agree. Violence against women in general. I don't believe in beating up women and shit like that. I don't believe in that. But if you have a weapon now, I'm gonna live. Let me be clear on that. But other than that, I don't believe in fighting women. But I ain't gonna let you stab me in my neck or nothing. Like, not in the music. No. We can't use music as a goddamn. That shit is not. Come on. Tia Marie says, I think Diddy is suspect. There might be some truth to it. When you give people enough dirt by your own actions, you can't get mad at what they built with it. I get that. But this is what I want to ask y'all, right? The reason I asked, are Black men predators or victims, is the thing I be wondering is, why all these mayonnaise people, why are they not ever the subject? Why are they never the subject of these types of things? You know what I'm saying? Things that bother me is like when all these sex parties and shit come up. Ain't they the originators of that shit? So I guess my thing is, I'm not really caping for Black men. More so, I got a problem with the fact that white men ain't in front of the congregation too. These are the original weirdos. The Greeks, the Romans, Playboy Mansion. Why they wait till motherfucking Hugh Hefner died to bring this nigga up on, you know what I'm saying, on allegations? They gave that nigga a professional courtesy and waited, because all them niggas, when I say niggas, I mean the white people, all them politicians, they was at that Playboy Mansion. Just like they was on Epstein Island. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to know, why these things get highly publicized when it comes to Black men and not other people. But my problem is, and I know, Sugar, you said that I just answered my own question. My problem is, even with us, we publicize this shit, but don't also play investigator and find ways to hold these unimpressive, unremarkable as white men accountable. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is be against the thing. If I'm against predators, which I am, I'm gonna be against them in general. I don't care if they black, white. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see people be against the thing and not be against people. That's how I felt about Kels. I know a lot of people who, rightfully so, had a problem with some of R. Kelly's actions. My problem is that I didn't see them before then or since then have a problem with those same actions in general. My thing is, if you're an advocate for or against a thing, you should be that, in period. Don't just be against the person. So, yeah, I think that's what annoys me. Let me check out some of these comments. Travel One says deviant male behaviors have been male behaviors have been since the beginning of time. Was Jesus a black man? Yeah, Jesus was the homie. You know what I'm saying? From Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was from the J block. Shout out to Jesus. Tia Marie, I think black men are painted more in the public eye as predators, and because of that, that makes them victims by default. And you know what, Tia? That's exactly what I'm getting towards. I think a lot of this shit is more common than we like to admit, but it is very easy for black men and black women to be the low hanging fruit in general. Like a lot of the things that they criticize black women for, in terms of black women being aggressive and quote unquote ignorant and things like that, I think that we just don't necessarily see other communities when they act like that. So it's very easy with our very limited perspective to be like, oh, black women are XYZ. But I'm like, shit, I've only dated black women. So of course, any positive or negative input that I have is going to be against black women. You know what I'm saying? But people will get on, on these platforms and like, you know what I'm saying? Just talk this shit as if they have a broad perspective when it's not even true. How do I know that these mayonnaise women ain't fucking, you know what I'm saying? They may not be cooperative either. I don't know. Shit, I don't date white women. You know what I'm saying? I like dark meat, pause. Let's see. That's why I said I wouldn't put a race in it. I believe men are predators, period. Some men are. Some men are. I don't think most are, but some are for sure. They definitely be in them white utility trucks with no windows, with a lollipop and shit. So yeah, I agree with you on that. But not most men, but it's definitely some fucking weirdos in this motherfucker. Shout out to Venus. If you did the crime, are you really a victim? No, you're not a victim if you did the crime at all. I just wonder though. So look, this is one of my issues. I wrestle with this a lot. With the R. Kelly thing, right? So first off, his case wasn't, my bad, let me back up. With R. Kelly's case, it ain't like everybody involved in his case were like underage women, but the way that it's framed is if he only was dealing with underage women, which wasn't the case, right? So my biggest issue, I hate grown men who like little girls. I don't like that. But if I'm being honest, I think it's more societally acceptable than we like to admit. And I've said this before, when you go back to our parents and grandparents and all that, and a bunch of you women that's in the chat, if y'all are being honest, do y'all know women or little girls who were dating grown men? Or maybe y'all were that. So while I think it's disgusting and it shouldn't happen at all, I think it's very disgusting. We got to admit, it's been societally acceptable for a very long time. And I would love to see people against that actual thing, not just being against people. So that's my message on the R. Kelly thing. Shout out to Feminine Melanin University, the homie. Still at church. I appreciate you dropping by while you at church, praising the man upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not a Christian. But thank you for stopping through. I hope you come through later. I won't be here long. Just trying to get this out my system because I know I ain't been live in like weeks. And so look, y'all, if y'all have not subscribed, I appreciate y'all subscribing. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers, I guess. Let's see. One underage girl is too many with these old men. I totally agree, Travel One. Venus said, yes, families be protecting their weird uncle and shit. Ain't that the truth? They really do. They really do. Y'all know what's crazy in my neighborhood? There was this one major drug dealer. Everybody knew him. I won't say his name because he's very famous in Chicago for a bad reason. Well, depending on how you look at it. But he's from my neighborhood, and everybody knew that he was dealing with the teenage girls. Everybody knew. It was absolutely no secret. I mean, parents knew, people in the neighborhood knew, people at my high school knew when he rolled up there. The teenage girls was going to be going up there because he had a nice car and money, and he spent money on chicks. And I think when he died, he had kids by at least three of them, if I remember correctly, two or three of them. But my problem is not only with him, is with the parents who all knew, who were all okay with him picking a daughter up and dropping her off and having sex with her and buying her things and eventually getting them pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So when Venus says, the families be protecting their weird uncle and shit, that's true. To take it a step further, it's some families that real talk be pimping them kids out. And I hate that shit. Sugar said, were they scared? No, they weren't scared at all. Hell no, they weren't scared. But you know what? I know a lot of people, right, who I'm like, they should have never been parents. I'm talking about men and women. Some of the most ignorant motherfuckers you know in your life, and they don't give a fuck. It ain't about being scared or not. They just don't give a fuck. Some of them were like that. You know what I'm saying? And so they don't care. You know what I'm saying? What their kids are doing. They really don't. It wasn't even about being scared because he wasn't the type of nigga that was going to do anything to them or anything like that. So it wasn't that type of situation. They just didn't give a fuck. Tia Marie says, look at these YouTube panels full of black men saying black women are bad, black females saying black men are bad. How can you blame white folks for believing, promoting what they hear us say about each other? I think that's a good question, but I will say they were doing that long before we had these platforms. You know what I'm saying? They were doing that long before we had these platforms. Now, I guarantee you, if we got on these platforms and we start saying the same things about those tiny hat people, they'll stop that shit immediately. So they have a vested interest in this being perpetuated. But if it was against them, they would absolutely. If I did that right now, I wouldn't have a channel, I'm sure. But it's okay for us to do it to each other. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Prime in the building. It's such an unfortunate position race-wise, driven by poverty, government intervention, and our own stupidity. That's absolutely true. Because as much as we don't want to admit it, it's a bunch of ignorant motherfuckers amongst us. I even seeing that this is why I hadn't been on YouTube in a couple weeks. I mean, it's a couple reasons, but it's a bunch of ignorant motherfuckers on here. Some people who I know, y'all got good jobs, you come from good families. You ain't even that type of person, but bruh, I'd be in the clouds listening, and I'm just like, these people on this panel, I know I'm a more evolved version of myself, but I'm not that evolved. And I don't want to fuck up my day by being in a conversation with some stupid motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube is full of stupid motherfuckers. I don't want no ignorance. I don't want no negativity or nothing in my life, bro. I ain't gonna even hold you. Let's see. These men also prey on single mom homes where the father isn't around. You know what? Somebody brought that up the other day, and my first inclination was like, fuck out of here. That was my first inclination. Then I'm like, nah, it probably is men that do that. Because it is a bunch of homosexuals out here. And I said hobo, H-O-B-O. But let's not forget the term homosexual is unisex too. But yeah, what you're saying has some merit too. It's just some motherfuckers that prey on whatever. It's motherfuckers that prey on single moms. It's motherfuckers that, prey on people in general. You know what I'm saying? It's motherfuckers that just want to take shit from people, do shit to people, and they're just not good people. You know what I'm saying? Is that a majority? Absolutely not, Cody. That shit ain't no fucking majority. It's not a majority. I don't even want to act like it is. It's not a majority. It's the minority by far. Just the other thing too, man. I keep thinking about this Bill Cosby thing. And how do y'all feel about the Bill Cosby thing? Aside from the statute of limitations being up, this man went to prison for some shit that allegedly happened decades ago. My problem that I'm struggling with the Bill Cosby thing, even though I still call that nigga Bill Cosby because that shit is hilarious. I'm struggling with the fact that so many people now do so many drugs. These kids do more drugs than we ever thought of doing. Like, I never did no hard drugs. Let me say that, but they pop pills, they drink lean, they do edibles, they doing everything you can think of. They doing a lot of drugs, and there's young girls willingly doing Molly and all types of shit. Unfortunately, I feel like Quaaludes were the Molly of that day. You know what I'm saying? So my question is, how do you even prove any of that? You know what I'm saying? Because these little girls do a lot of drugs now. Unfortunately, I pray that my daughter is never one of those, but they love popping pills and shit. So my question is, how do you determine, especially retroactively, whether or not somebody went somewhere and popped a pill? You know what I'm saying? Versus, oh, he was, you know what I'm saying? He was giving them drugs versus shit, they came through to do drugs. You know what I'm saying? That's my problem with the Bill Cosby thing. Now, I don't know to what degree he did anything where he should have been in prison. I don't know that. Whatever he did where he should have been in prison, he should have been in there. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in giving a nigga a pass for no shit like that. But I do struggle. I do struggle with figuring out how the fuck you can prove something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you're accused of that, how do you disprove it? There's no way to fucking disprove it. I can't prove that you know what I'm saying, Tia Marie came through to kick it with us, and yeah, Cody gave her some Molly, and she like, oh man, that nigga Cody made me sing and dance on one foot. You know what I'm saying? Butt naked. And it's like, you wanted to do that shit. But how would he prove 10 years from now that she didn't want to do that shit? So I think as a man, I have a problem with that because it's so easy to get accused of something that you can't prove you didn't do. I think a lot of conversations I've had with women, the only time, to be honest, I've seen them be able to understand that is when it comes to their kids. Like in terms of your son, like if your son got accused of something, if you say we should believe all women, does that mean that you wouldn't get your son a lawyer? You would automatically believe her and let your son go to prison? Like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to know from ladies right now. Do you think the term believe all women is plausible? And if you do, if your son got accused of something, would you not get him a lawyer? Would you tell him, I got to believe women, so you should go to prison? It's my question for the ladies. What did Travel want to say? So will Caucasians be an excuse till infinity for the black man to be complacent and just let things so-called happen? Nah, Caucasians ain't the excuse. They're not. I just like to talk shit about white people. That's all. Tia Marie says you can't. It's your version versus theirs. Yep, which is the danger of it. That's the dangerous part of it. Shout out to my boy Matthew Pearson in the building. Tia Marie says, I don't think believe all women is fair. And I agree with you. Cody says, hell no. The funny thing about that, right, is women, you know who beefs with women more than anybody is women. I know so many women that say they don't fuck with women because women are messy. That's the funniest part about it all. Like, I know women who really, you can't tell them nothing about their man because they don't want to hear it. They ain't gonna believe you. They don't want to hear none of it. Which is why it's weird and contradictory for me to hear something like believe all women. Like, y'all don't even believe all women. You don't want to believe that shit. Why should I believe that shit? I don't believe all of nobody. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? The people you love the most lie to you. Sometimes to save, you know what I'm saying? Nah, hell no. And Tia says she's guilty. She don't mess with women. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's a weird assertion. You know what was funny? That chick, I think she was the chick from the Time's Up movement. I think her son got accused of something, and then she resigned, and got a lawyer for her son, but she was one of the main ones saying believe all women. That shit is crazy. And I don't like that shit because there are women who are actually victims out here, like real talk. And I don't want nothing that's gonna water that shit down. So now we not believing anybody. We gonna believe the evidence though. And niggas that do some shit like that, shit, they should be in prison forever. That's how I feel about it. But we can't just believe everything. We gotta vet everything and shit, punish harshly for motherfuckers that really did that shit. My boy Cody said, women don't like women, big dog. That's a fact. Travel One said, that's why the criminal justice system needs to be avoided. Again, deviant behavior arises, and taking that risk to drug a woman needs to be punished. Yeah. But I think drugging a woman, yes, needs to be punished, Travel One. But how do we determine whether or not a woman was drugged versus she came through to do drugs? In the fields I worked in, I deal with so many drug addicts. And you can see them at different stages of their drug use. There are a lot of people who love to do drugs. They do. So how do we determine something that happened 10 years ago? How do we determine whether or not somebody was drugged or whether or not they came to do drugs and they just got the drugs that they came to do versus them, quote unquote, being drugged? So I think that's a very slippery slope. Travel One said, let's not forget that women had no rights and were harassed on the job, off the job, on the streets by men. What could the woman do? I agree with that. So the laws needed to be made to determine. Yeah, I agree. You know the problem with a bunch of this, Travel One and everybody else? There needed to be something needed to be done. Usually when something needs to be done or something needs to be fixed or corrective action needs to be taken, the pendulum, when it swings the other way, there's generally an overcorrection, meaning it's going to be harsh at first before it eventually moderates. But some things don't moderate, some things never moderate. So yeah, you are right. Something needed to be done. It's just a matter of what needed to be done and to what extent. Just like, what do you call that? Child support. Child support is necessary because some motherfuckers will never take care of their kids. Now, whether or not the system is fair, that's a different discussion. But yeah, something needed to be done. But yeah, at some point, the system has to become fair. Matthew Pearson said, I'm in church right now. Some women mean mugging other women. That is hilarious. Women don't fuck with women. We fuck with women. Women don't fuck with women. Friday for real streaming says, salute Sean in the chat. Salute, bro. Is that Wale on your avatar? Shout out to Wale in DC. So look, it's my thoughts on that. What do y'all think about what do y'all think overall though? Do y'all think Diddy is going to prison? I don't think Diddy is going to no fucking prison. I think before Diddy ended up in prison, he would end up wherever the fuck Russell Simmons is, chilling, doing yoga somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You said that shit, your great grandpa. Oh, wow. Okay. Cody says, lack the capacity to have a real conversation, big dog. Yeah, that's real. Yeah, people don't have the capacity to have a real conversation. So look, what do y'all think in general, right? Do y'all think in terms of expect the unexpected, salute, welcome, welcome, welcome. Do y'all think that, would you say that you're good at conflict resolution? Like when you get into beef and you get into drama, do you think that you do a good job of resolving conflict? One of the reasons I'm asking that is because I'm thinking about all this rap beef, right? And I get it. Like, it's entertainment. They trying to make money. But to be honest, all this shit could have been handled with a couple phone calls. The other reason I'm saying that is this is not for my non-YouTube viewers. This is for the people who are in the chat who watch a bunch of YouTube channels like I do. And you see it's so much drama and so much fighting on YouTube and people leaking people's information and calling police and all types of wild shit. Do y'all ever feel like when y'all see this drama that why don't these motherfuckers just get on the phone and talk to each other without us watching? I think most of these issues that we come in contact with in life, and especially on YouTube, it can be solved with a phone conversation. But for some people, I'm not saying all, for some people, it's no different than this rap beef. It's better to do it for the cameras. It's better because it's entertaining and, that can be leveraged. Me personally, you would never see me. If I had an issue with any one of y'all, I would never come on YouTube to make a video about it, ever. We would always have a conversation offline. There have been people who, I'm cool with on YouTube. We've had issues. It has always been resolved with a phone call. Even if that phone call entails an argument, it's going to be resolved offline, no cameras involved. That's how I think conflict should be solved. That's why when people I'm cool with, whether it's on YouTube or in real life, when they have issues, my first function is going to be to try to help them resolve the issues, to motivate them to resolve the issues. But above else, I'm saying about that shit. Especially if it's some stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't respect YouTube beef. I'm gonna tell y'all that in real life. I don't respect YouTube beef. Man, I've had to be in the middle of a lot of real violent situations and help to stop further beef, further blood from being spilled. So for me, I just can't even respect YouTube beef because I've dealt with too many real things in real life. So that's why I'm always gonna stay neutral. And I'm talking to y'all in the chat because I know, y'all are part of these, this YouTube community that we're in. That's why I'm never gonna choose sides. Now, there is a point where you can go too far, on YouTube too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna stay out of all that shit. Let me read some of y'all's comments. Friday for real said that's because they're not trying to be mature. They want to let out the demon. It's a good point for some people. Absolutely. Matthew Pearson says depends on who it is. Immediate family and friends are resolved, but relatives and strangers, it is what it is. Smoke or no smoke. I feel you. I've just been in a position where it's been my job to figure it out. So I don't know if you would call that a fortunate or unfortunate position for me. Pause on a position. Travel once said, the excuse now is it's for entertainment. So who wants to really solve anything? Does black male leadership want to do it? Who wants to resolve anything? I feel you. I think it depends. If we're talking about rappers and shit like that, a lot of other rappers and shit like that are cheering because they're like, yeah, finally niggas are rapping again. And it's not this stupid rap or, just rapping about what you have and how many women you have and all that. At least it's a competition that they know with the people involved, it ain't gonna end up in no violence, nothing like that. So I get where in rap it can be cool because it's like a competitive sport. I get that. And some people want to see the competition. I do get that. In terms of in life, some people don't want to solve anything. They don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They ready to fight. You know what I realized changed about me over time? I think when you get to a certain point as a man, me speaking for myself, I felt like at some point I wish a nigga would. The evolved version, especially once you have things to lose, when you got kids, you got, some type of, you making a few dollars or whatever, it transitioned to me from I wish a nigga would to I hope a nigga don't. Because I don't want a nigga to force me to have to. You know what I'm saying? And so I hope that other people will get to that point too, where it's just like, man, look, bro, I'm not even trying to, because I'm telling you, things get so violent so quick. And I've been in so many dangerous and violent situations. And I remember like some of y'all are new and y'all didn't, y'all wasn't around a couple of years ago on YouTube. It's been a couple of times when I really, 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 really lost my temper. And I was looking for where niggas lived. And I found where a couple of niggas lived. But for me, it's like, how stupid would I be to, you know what I'm saying? How stupid would I be? But some niggas really, they will really violate you online. And it makes you want to I want to see if you really like that in real life. But I had to check myself and just realize that, man, this shit is stupid as fuck. I can't tell my niggas in real life that I got into it with a nigga on YouTube and I'm about to go slide. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, bro, this shit online, this shit will test your patience. It really will. You know what I'm saying? That's why you never see me lose my cool no more, because I'm actively and intently not losing my cool. But I really do be wanting to crack a nigga head sometimes when they say wild shit, but you'll never see you'll never see that come out again. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't never gonna go that again, because I can regulate my emotions. Some people that we see in real life, online or whatever, they cannot regulate their emotions. Some people just don't want to. They could, but they don't want to. Some people really want to show motherfuckers how tough they are. I thank God that I've gotten older, and I don't want to have a fight again in my life. I don't want to have to shoot nobody. I don't want no smoke. I just want to make money, take care of my child, help people. That's all I want. I don't want nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So what Travel once said is true. Some people, including black men, don't want to solve anything, which is funny, right? Before I go to the other comments, I want to talk about that. It's funny with me having experience working with the government, I'll just say, or whatever. What you realize about law enforcement, right? And I know what you said, Travel One, is not about law enforcement, but it makes me think about something I realized about government and about law enforcement. Have y'all ever thought about the fact that have you ever thought about the fact that law enforcement has a vested interest in crime existing and perpetuating? The people who really don't want to solve, and I know you're talking about black men and black male leadership in your comment, Travel One, but the people who really don't want to solve anything is law enforcement, because they have a vested interest in crime existing and they have a vested interest in crime proliferating. You ever looked at a budget for a police force and realize how their budget increases every single fucking year? Me being from Chicago, they got $1 billion budgets. New York got $1 billion budgets. And so whenever you have a budget, whether it's for a program you're running or, municipal budget or whatever, you want that budget to increase and you have to justify it. So it's funny. So law enforcement have a vested interest in crime existing. The healthcare industry, they have a vested interest in not treating things, not curing things, but treating things. Me dealing with homeless people in my career, you realize that the programs that are tasked with helping homeless people have a vested interest in homelessness persisting, because they don't want to work themselves out of a job. It's funny when you start realizing who has a vested interest in certain dysfunctional things existing. And I know I went on a rant off that comment, but yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I do. Kim, welcome, Kim. Kim says a lot of people are obsessed with attention, good or bad. Mental health is important. I totally agree, Kim. I'm not a person who believes that all publicity is good publicity. I don't believe that, not one fucking bit. Sometimes bad publicity, sometimes bad publicity is just that. That shit is bad. Sometimes bad attention is just bad attention. That shit is bad. Mental health is important. I totally agree, though. Tia Marie says you have to understand that for some people, YouTube is all they have. It gives them a false sense of importance. I totally agree, Tia Marie. I thank God that I've been who I am, you know what I'm saying, for a long time. I've always been popular. I've always been a solid nigga. I've always been a hustler. I've always been whatever I am. Speaking of that, if you're not following me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram. It is Sean_Antonio, SHAWN_Antonio. Cause yeah, some of y'all are cool. So yeah, follow me on IG. Matthew Pearson is agreeing with Kim. Let's see. Friday for real says beef is not entertainment. I agree. Cody says black men don't fall for the bullshit, big dog. You can only lead who is willing to follow you. I gotta agree with Cody. I gotta agree with him. Just because you are a leader does not mean you're everybody's leader. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that. Just because you are a leader in a certain facet of life does not mean you are the leader of everybody. Doesn't mean that. I'm not Christian, so Christian leaders ain't my leader. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing TD Jakes, Mr. Power Bottom, Pastor Power Bottom himself can tell me. This nigga can't lead me nowhere. You feel me? Just saying. Some of y'all would never listen to Minister Farrakhan, and rightfully so, because he ain't your fucking leader. Shout out to Lauren Mack in the building. Lauren Mack, I was just talking shit about you on a clip from Hamp's channel about 2 hours ago. Lauren Mack, you was up there wilding. I'm like, this is not the Lauren Mack that I thought I knew for like 2 months. Lauren, you was wilding on that clip. Oh Lord, I forgot what it was about. What was Lauren wilding about? Oh, it was about, oh Lord, I want to talk about this. Just see, Lauren Mack, you didn't trigger me. You fucking triggered me, Lauren Mack. Let me tell y'all about this conversation. What they was talking about, right? They was talking about basically whether or not men should intervene in situations in, you know what I'm saying, in life and put themselves in harm's way. I wholeheartedly believe that as a man, your ass better mind your fucking business a lot of the times. That situation that happened a couple years ago where the son killed Buddy in the restaurant. He was there with his mom. That was in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't finna fight you. Especially these shorties. They not finna fight you, boy. They finna blick your ass down. You keep playing Superman, boy, motherfuckers gonna hit your ass with that kryptonite. You play Superman for these strangers if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You gonna lose your life. So yeah, if it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. But a lot of times, boy, you better mind your motherfucking business. Especially when motherfuckers be like, you don't even know the situation. Let's say I see Lauren Mack out there and she arguing with Friday for real. You know what I'm saying? Whole time I'm not knowing that Shorty might have done some wild diabolical shit and Buddy is just trying to, you know what I'm saying? He trying to leave. She won't let him leave. And here I come. I'm fighting him whole time, not knowing she the problem. And then Buddy cracked my shit. And now this beautiful caramel head of mine don't look the same no more. Now, how would I look on camera? I done got my head cracked for Lauren Mack and she gonna go right back to this nigga. No, Lauren Mack. We not doing that. Oh shit. What does Travel once said? Men are to put away childish things at some point. And by 30, if a man is still childish, he's dangerous. And so it goes. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Some men need they need things like prison. Men do at some point, a lot of men, I'm not gonna say all men, a lot of times men do understand and respect consequences. Sometimes a nigga gotta get tired of getting shot. Sometimes a nigga gotta get tired of going to prison. Sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But I think as dudes, we need consequences. We really do. Sometimes that mean a motherfucker got to bust you upside your head, you know what I'm saying, for you to get the point. You know what I'm saying? We just need consequences. Shout out to my friend, Lucky Marie, in the building. Hello, Lucky Marie. I know you're getting ready for your show. Hope y'all are tapping in to Lucky tonight. At what time is Lucky's show tonight? 7:30 p.m. Central Time. You know, her show is great every Sunday, so I hope y'all are tapping in. Before that, you know, Fatty's show is at 2 p.m. Central Time. So I hope y'all are tapping in to Fatty at 2 p.m. and then rolling over and tapping in with Lucky at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Let's see. See, Tia, I've been saying that. Tia says just because you're a man doesn't mean you're automatically a leader. I keep saying that, Tia. You know why? Because most men are not fucking leaders, except on YouTube for some reason. I don't know. I think what I like about myself, if I can just give myself credit, when I come on YouTube, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to be honest. I ain't making shit up. I'm not going to make myself out to be more than I am or nothing. I'm not going to be unfair. I'm not going to ride for men just because I'm a man. I'm not going to do that. Most niggas are weak. Most niggas are not, don't have any depth. And I don't mean niggas like black people. I mean people. Most people are regular fucking people. They're not super smart. They're not going to achieve nothing spectacular in life. Most people aren't tough. Most people aren't violent. They're not going to be high earners. And most people are not leaders. Most men are not leaders. They're just existing, you know what I'm saying, waiting to be led. At every point in their life, they were led around. They were led around the sandbox. They were led around the playground. You know what I'm saying? They were never the leaders on their team. They weren't that nigga in high school or in college. You know what I'm saying? They was never that nigga. But yet they get online and they, you know what I'm saying? They act like just because they get a woman, they're a leader. Like, yeah, okay, I guess you're the head of the household. That don't mean you're a fucking leader. Half the time your chick be leading you niggas around by your nose, you know what I mean? Now, if that's what works for you, that's what works for you. You know what I'm saying? But we got to stop acting like all these men are fucking leaders just because they got a penis. That's not the fucking case. I know some women who are brilliant, and I would advocate for them to be followed to the end of the world because they're fucking brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. With all of my businesses, with anytime I've had hiring power, I've hired a majority of women and they have been in leadership roles, and it has served me absolutely well because I know I can depend on them and I can trust them. Now, let me be clear. It's some niggas out here, some men out here that get it done. Absolutely. They bosses, they leaders, they're everything. They're brilliant. But I hate the narrative that makes it seem like women can't get it done, that women ain't bosses, that women ain't leaders. 'Cause that's not fucking true. You know what I'm saying? Emotional damage. Yeah, Lauren, you emotionally damaged me. I'm like, is this Lauren talking like this? Lauren, I had to comment. Oh Lord, I had to comment on that. I'm like, oh, not Lauren. Not Lauren. Lauren the Mac. Matthew Pearson says, yeah, I'm good with the finances, but that family shit, my wife way better than me. That I'd be ready to say kick bricks to my relatives. You know what's funny about the finances? I hope I don't get his quote wrong, but my best friend Akari, he said that he's the CEO of his house and his wife is the CFO, and a lot of the financial stuff, you know, she handles. Yeah, so it ain't gotta be just because you got a fucking penis that you got to handle that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now he's a wizard with investments and all that type of shit, so he does all that type of shit. But a lot of the household finances and family shit like that, like, yeah, he trusts his wife to do it and she does a great job. You know what I'm saying? They make a lot of money and they live beneath their means. So it's a system that works. Niggas gotta stop this shit about like a woman can't do certain things, bro. I hate that shit. And I don't care. Yes, yes, I am biased because I come from a single mother household. Yes, I'm biased because I have a daughter. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Shaking my head. My bad, y'all. I'm trying to get to all these comments. Let's see what else the woman in question has to say. Lauren the Mac says, I didn't get a chance to elaborate on it, but men who have a certain mindset are going to weigh out all that before they intervene. So if he sees that he can't help, he will. But Lauren, look, I think he was being evasive. This was my problem with it, right? I felt like if you was being honest, I heard your answer. I felt like if you was being honest, right? If you had a son, because I would have asked you, Lauren, if you had a son and your son had just finished law school, you worked very hard to put your son through law school. He worked very hard to get through law school. He's a new lawyer. He's 27 years old, baby on the way. Would you tell him to use his best judgment, or would you tell him, look, son, I get it. You want to help people, but I need you to make it home safe because I love you more than I love anybody in this world. That's what I would want to know from you, Lauren. Would you give that same advice to your son, or would you be clear, son, I need you to make it home. We love you. You're about to have another mouth to feed. That's going to depend on you. Would you tell him to use his best judgment, or would you say, son, I need you to make it home? I think sometimes it's not even about judgment because your judgment can fail you. Judgment has allowed all of us to make some badass decisions in life, some really bad decisions. I'm gonna go back to the situation where I got shot, and I hope my cousin ain't watching this. But when I got shot, we saw the car. We were walking to the store, me and my cousin. It's 2 a.m. We saw the car pass us, and we stopped. And I said, "Cuz, do you think we should keep going?" And Cuz was like, "Yeah," because my cousin, he got the most fuck it in him. That nigga, everything's like fuck it with him. It's always been like that. You know what I'm saying? He like fuck it. I remember him saying that. But I knew when I saw that car pass and how they was looking at us, it was some Mexicans, some Latin kings. I knew we should have turned around. So on the way back, when I saw that car pass us again, I'm like, cuz, let's cross the street. Had we not crossed the street, I wasn't even across the street. He was across the street. I was in the middle of the street. And them two niggas came from on the side of the house that we was about to walk past. And they had their guns out already. And they like, you know what I'm saying? They start saying all the gang banging shit. And all we could do is run. I'm lucky I didn't get shot more. I'm lucky I'm alive. You know what I'm saying? But I say all that to say that in that situation, yeah, my judgment was right. You know what I'm saying? But we could say that cuz his judgment wasn't right because we should have turned around. And my ass never would have got shot. Now, getting shot was the best thing that ever happened to me. I will say that. But just saying, sometimes your judgment can fail you. Sometimes, especially as men, I think as a man, we got a lot of bravado, and that shit will make you just go headstrong into some shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you may be a person who wears a cape, which I've done in life. I've worn a cape a lot of times, and that shit can lead you and put you in some terrible positions. I remember one time I was with all my kids. My youngest in my after school program, and we on, for those who know Chicago, we on 39th and Cottage. We at the Abraham Lincoln Center, right? We took them over there because we started a basketball team for the after school program. So we got the van behind us, and then I had a suburban then. And so I got a bunch of them in my suburban, then we got the van behind us. So we won the game, we leave out, and now bear in mind, this is just right before the war started with my young boys in this other set. They was into it, but niggas hadn't died yet. And so now we about to pull off. I see the other niggas come out and they got guns. So I'm like, fuck. And I got a car full of, you know what I'm saying, my mentees. Well, a truck full of mentees, and then I got a van behind us. So they got their guns out. So now I got to get out. And I got to go and talk these young wild niggas down so they don't shoot everything up. So what I'm getting to is that sometimes, man, like those young niggas, they didn't give a fuck. Their judgment, it wasn't leading them nowhere but to violence. Thank God that, I was able to talk them down, but shit, I hear what you're saying. But sometimes, man, you just act. You don't even think. I did a bunch of shit where I just acted. And I should have thought, and that shit was a fucked up decision. I can think of a bunch of things that I'm not going to talk about online where I just like. So yeah, sometimes you just act and you shouldn't have acted. You should have acted like you had more sense and went the fuck home. Laura says sometimes the presence of another man is enough to de-escalate a situation. Sometimes, yeah, you're right. That's a fair statement. Yeah. Travel One said women are the prize. I forgot what that. I don't know what that was in relation to. Women are the prize. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe women are the prize. Y'all think women are the prize? I would love for y'all to convince me of women being the prize, because I don't believe that shit at all. I don't think women are the prize. I think every situation is different. In a situation where, let's just say you travel one, I think you're a woman. Let's say I'm assuming you're a woman. Travel one. Let's just say you meet, I don't know, you meet a rich nigga. You meet John Moran or something like that. You're not the prize in that situation. He is. He is. Now, eventually, when y'all get together, the thing that's going to make it work, to me, in my opinion, which I could always be wrong, is that y'all look at each other like each person is the prize. You know what I'm saying? I think both people have to see the other person as the prize for it to make sense eventually. Because if you're walking around in a relationship thinking that you're the prize and you're gonna act like that, and eventually that shit don't work. Nah, if you ain't treating me like a prize, I'm not treating you like one. That shit is super dead. So no, I don't think women are the prize exclusively. I think it's on a case by case basis. Let's see. Uh, Lauren said, I wouldn't say need, I would say I want you to. I get that, Lauren, but I don't know. Kids, young people, you gotta tell them directly. Fuck that. Nah, I don't know. You shouldn't be putting yourself in harm's way for strangers. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're getting paid to do it. I'm sorry. Matthew Pearson said, if I'm feeling like Superman, I'm helping. If I'm with my family, I'm getting us out of there. I get that. I want to know too, like, have y'all, I don't know, man. Have y'all been around situations? And I know y'all have. I'm not trying to say it like y'all haven't. Who has been around a situation where a fight turns into a shooting? Have y'all been around that and seeing how quickly that shit can devolve? That shit is wild. If y'all have never had bullets coming towards you, it's some shit you never want. You know how, have y'all ever had a dream where, like, in a dream, you're running from something, but it feels like you can't run fast enough? It feels like you're running in slow motion. That's how it feels when you're getting shot at. You know what I'm saying? So, under all circumstances, I would tell people to avoid that shit because, yeah, I don't know. Them 30 rounds and them 100 round drums and shit and them switches, you don't want that situation. What's up, Jill? How you doing? How you doing? Uh what did Lauren say? Lauren said, I just don't believe me saying don't do something to a man is going to stop him from doing what he thinks is right. It will. It will, Lauren. It will. Because think about it, right? The opposite is true. The opposite is a woman making a man feel like he's less than the man if he don't do it. Which, not saying a woman is the only thing that'll make you feel like that. Society can make you feel like that as a man. I remember at this point in my life, I was I don't want to put a date on it. I was at this point in my life where I was selling burnout phones in the hood. If y'all don't know what a burnout phone is, it's just a phone it works maybe for a month or whatever amount of time it works for, then that bitch is off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm selling burnout phones, and I had got a lick on some blueberry weed from the west side. At that point, the south side niggas didn't have blueberries. So I'm like, all right, I got some blueberry. And one of the niggas that I was getting money with, he wasn't my homie, he was my little cousin's homie. And they was in a totally different gang type shit. But anyway, he was their homie. And I was getting money with him on the other lick. And so I'm like, let me give him this weed, see if he can move it, see if we can bring it from the west side to the south side. This nigga ran off with the work. This nigga ran off with the work. And for years, I wanted to murder this nigga. And I'm just being honest. I don't want to sugarcoat nothing for the internet. I wanted to murder this nigga for years. I still hadn't seen him since then, but for years, he was at the top of my list of niggas I wanted to murder. But the problem is, and how this relates to this conversation, is that it ain't just about women, telling you or advising you on what you should and shouldn't do. Society in the hood, it'll make you feel like as a man, you got to do certain things. It'll make you feel like you got to react a certain way. It'll make you feel like you got to get some get back. But what can calm you down for me as a man is a woman just sometimes just kind of giving you permission to just relax and calm down and let that shit go. Yeah, your homies can do that shit too. You know what I'm saying? But if your homies are all aggressive, then it's less likely that they will advise you in that way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My bad. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So I get what you're saying, Lauren. I think that women, you have more power and more influence than you may realize. That's what I think. Um, oh, I hear what you're saying. All right. Sugar says, to be honest, I'm telling my son to get his ass back home. We don't know them people. Even if we do, get your ass home. That's real. I remember, yo. I remember when I was in, we call it grammar school. I don't know what y'all call it, elementary school or something like that. Grammar school to us is K through 8 in Chicago. So I don't know what grade I was in, but I was in grammar school, and some of the guys in my neighborhood, they were very violent. And I won't say no names because some of them are still trying to get out of prison right now. You know what I'm saying? So I won't say no names, but the niggas from my neighborhood, they know which of the guys was, you know what I'm saying, violent at a young age. And I remember when they was jumping on this one nigga, and niggas ran over there. Before you know it, niggas that ran over there just to watch was getting their ass stumped out too. It was at that point that I realized I don't even run to fights. Motherfuckers start fighting, I'm going the opposite way. And not long after that, the bullets start flying. So I don't know. You know what, Lauren? I may be projecting, as women say. Maybe I'm projecting the fact that Chicago is so violent and things go left so fucking fast that maybe, you know what, maybe it's me. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's my trauma. So I could be wrong. Every time we have conversations, when y'all talk to me, I'm open to changing my opinion, moderating my opinion, and being wrong. So maybe I'm wrong, and it's just a function of the violence that I've seen. Tia said, but would prize be subjective? That's a good point, Tia. All I know is what I do want to do is bring to the stage my homegirl, Venus.
Home girl.
What up, V?
Is there an echo?
No.
How you doing? What you up here talking about?
Right now, just kind of talking about the comments. They have said some interesting things. I want to go back to who said it. Somebody said, who was it? Travel One saying that women are the prize. Do you believe women are the prize?
I believe both people are the prize. Should be.
Oh, yeah, I think
Not
that's.
that you necessarily are just because you're a woman or you're a man, but
Mhm.
if you add value to somebody's life, then that's what the both of you should be doing. So I think both people could be the prize.
Damn, I think that's a very fair statement. And I guess for me, I wonder why people don't look at it more like that. Like, because sometimes I've dated women who were much shit. Most women I date are, I think, much better people than me as it relates to like the relationship portion of it. So in that respect, I would say they were the prize, but not because they were a woman, just because they were the catch to me. You know what I'm saying? But I just gotta say, it's some niggas that are remarkable guys. They're very remarkable, accomplished men. And just because somebody has a vagina does not mean that they get to be the prize over that man.
Yeah, because there's some women that could bring into your life. You could bring
Mhm.
into your life, and they could bring nothing but turmoil, just like a man could.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, like if you ever get a certain actor, you know what I'm saying?
Shut up.
Shout out to Tia Marie. She says, I consider certain men as a prize. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be the same thing, though. Just because you have a penis doesn't make you the prize either. It goes both ways.
Totally agree.
Prize is based on value.
Yeah, just like having a penis doesn't make you a leader. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. Niggas got to stop that shit. I'm glad you've never been shot at, Matthew. How do you say this? I always get this wrong. Is that Gaia or Gia?
I say Gaia.
Okay.
Hey, Gaia.
That's PTSD. I think it's PTSD, but I also think it could be true too. Uh, yeah, you got up out of that, and bullets start flying. There, indiscriminate. Absolutely. Lauren has never been around shooting. In Oak Cliff, you haven't? That is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, that shit is unpleasant. It's very unpleasant. So make sure y'all tell y'all kids when if that shit look like it's gonna go left, it's probably gonna go left. Get the fuck up out of there. Like, don't find out the hard way. I get what y'all saying, but like, don't, unless it's some little kids. I broke. You know, the last fight I broke up was at a club. Me and my brother broke up a fight at a club in Chicago with some women. To matter of fact, it was a very very attractive girl getting jumped on by I think like four girls, and it did seem like they were jealous of her, and they was mopping shorty. But we broke that shit up. But my brother's like 6'6". He's a big ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot easier. But yeah, shit like that, yeah. But like motherfuckers who probably gonna shoot, I'm not breaking that shit up. I'm gonna go and get up out of there. Um, my bad. I'm listening.
Oh no, I was just gonna say to what Travel One said, men are the seekers, rewards are for the hunter. I was thinking that too. The reason, because you said I don't know why people say that. The reason women were deemed the prize is because usually like the prize is something you win, right? And so traditionally it was usually the men who were pursuing, where now kind of both genders are pursuing whatever they want.
Hmm.
I still think men approach more, but yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
but yeah, and I still don't. I agree with you. I just don't think it don't matter who's pursuing. Some people at the end of that motherfucking rainbow, it's a pot of gold, and some people ain't. If Jeff Bezos pursues somebody, he's always gonna be the fucking prize. Like
Facts.
he is. It don't matter.
Hey, what if he's a terrible man though? Like, what if he's abusive, even or just financially abusive, right? Like, what if he uses his money to, control and verbally abusive, and is he still a prize at that point? Like, I
At that
think
point, no.
anybody can be the prize or not be.
Hmm. At that point, he's not. I agree with that. At that point, he's not. But in the beginning, yeah, the person with I think the most accomplished person, the best human, the 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 person with the most resources. I think there are different reasons we could call somebody the prize in a situation, but I just don't think we can default based on gender in either direction. I just don't think we can do that. You know, no matter what nobody says about, because we all have our biases, but I'm just like, I won't allow me having a penis to make me say that a nigga is always the prize because he's the provider and all that. I won't say that.
Especially now when most men really can't be the provider.
Right.
So that whole thing, yeah.
Yeah. The way that life is set up right now, like two income streams, you gotta have it. You gotta have two. You gotta have two revenue streams in the house at least. That's why everybody, all y'all in the comments, you gotta find your little boo. Get your little boo. Y'all get booed up. Have some little booed up cheering, and that's it.
Not
Get out
sure.
these streets. Yeah, get out these streets. Yeah, yeah. I wish people would go back to fighting too. You know what, Lauren? Let me ask you, Venus. So you growing up in New York, do you remember a time when dudes would, well, people would fight all the time?
Yeah.
Do you remember when that moved to people jumping on people?
I've been seeing people get jumped since I was little, so I saw
Mhm.
my big brother get jumped. Yeah, I got jumped. I got jumped a couple of times. I come from a rough neighborhood, but I've been seeing that my whole life.
That's funny. Yo, you know what's crazy? I've dodged getting jumped. I've gotten out of some situations. A lot of dudes won't admit this, but it's some situations I had to cop a plea in. It's some situations I had to motherfucking nigga and beat my feet to get up out of. Real talk, niggas act like every situation they was Superman, and you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, like, because especially how Chicago is set up, like, man, we have wars that never end. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you got to be
That's
really.
what I hate. Like, I don't like problems no more. Cause yeah, it used to be like y'all fight and then it is what it is. Now,
Mhm,
if y'all fight, they want to fight you every time. It's like I don't got time. I gotta go to work. I cannot fight you every time I see you. Okay,
right,
I'm just too old for that. But yeah, it did change. It used to be like y'all fought and it's just whatever. We don't like each other. But now,
right.
nah, they want to end your life. Like, it's too
I
much.
got I got beat up twice in life. Yo, I would love for other people to come up here too and tell us about the times. I want to hear your stories too, right? I want to hear about the times y'all got beat up. I got beat up twice in life, but now once I came. Now both of them was in elementary school. The first was my boy Lo, who his sister ended up being my girlfriend later in life because we all, we grew up across the tracks from each other. I had to be maybe in fifth grade. I don't know, sixth grade max. And I don't even know what. No, it was probably younger than that. Anyway, I still don't know what happened. All I knew was I was at a park. I was probably in fourth grade. I was at a park. I didn't know most of the niggas there, and before I knew it, niggas was chasing me, and that nigga was beating me up. I didn't even fight back. I didn't even fight back. The other one was my boy Jason. You know what I'm saying? One of my best friends growing up. All I remember, and some of y'all may remember this. We was in class. Maybe it was seventh grade. I don't remember. That nigga hit me with. I want y'all to catch that. This is what he did. Shout out to my boy Black Cheese. He was like 3 o'clock.
You said I'm gonna black your eye at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. And
That's what it
I'm
is.
confused because Jason's my boy. You know what I'm saying? I still don't know why we was fighting. It wasn't much of a fight. He swung on me and I dipped it, and like his wrist hit the top of my head and he broke his wrist.
Damn.
And that was the whole fight. But I consider that getting beat up. I didn't even fight back. I was a really nice guy when I was young. I didn't want no smoke. But I remember those days when that could happen and y'all could be cool again, or even niggas who, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like once them guns came out, once them drugs hit and them guns came out, shit, everything was different. I remember when the block had one or two guns. Now everybody on the block got guns, multiple guns. Shit different. So you got to be careful out here in these streets.
Yeah, people are like angrier and more violent. It is different now. Like the young kids who have access to all the guns and stuff they have. It's
Hmm.
just crazy. Even the young girls too. Like sometimes if one of those fights come across my timeline, I don't really like watching that, but
Hmm.
seeing them too, even when it's with girls, and I'm like, Jesus, it's like looking like y'all trying to kill each other for real.
Yeah, that's
I'm
real.
like,
That's real. Lauren said, when people talk about how bad Dallas is, I can honestly say, I can honestly say I never witnessed it directly. That's real. Since I've been here, like I think it's very peaceful. Now I know it's some real grimy parts, but like once again, that's my trauma speaking. I come from a lot of violence, so I love it here. Shout out to Sharon in the building. You know what I'm saying? Sharon said he has. It's a wild situation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all being from New York, it's like, y'all, man, you know what's crazy? I remember in the 90s, Chicago's body, the amount of bodies that was dropping was always in the 800 to 900s. You know what I'm saying? And New York was always, more than that. You know what I'm saying?
damn.
So a lot of these places got a lot better.
I know a few people who got killed, and that's a sad thing, but like, just yeah, I just do.
Yeah. Oh, this is the comment you were responding to.
Let's travel one because I
Yeah,
can't see.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Travel one. Yeah, men are the seekers, rewards are for the hunter. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Travel one. Um, Lauren Mack says, I will say, Sean, I don't disagree with your mindset on the discussion. I think self preservation is smart. Nothing wrong with that. It is. Yo, when I was growing up, when it started with one on one fights, then niggas start putting locks on their knuckles. When my boy got put to sleep, one of the same niggas I was talking about, he hit my boy Leonard with a lock. And man, when I tell you that nigga went to sleep in that snow, that nigga went to sleep. We had to carry that nigga home. They used to knock niggas out with them locks on their hands. That's before they started jumping niggas. Then they went to jumping and now shooting. So yeah, self preservation, Lauren. Tia Marie says you can't predict when or where folks will shoot these days. A guy just shot at someone in Chipotle just because he didn't get enough guacamole. Wow.
Jesus, man, people are on edge right now. Like for real, I don't know. Well, I mean, I do know like life is stressful, and it could make you, just be in a real dark place. But that's the scary thing about like you got to be careful how you deal with people in public because you just don't know. You catch somebody at the wrong time, they might overreact, like
Mhm.
super duper overreact.
That is true. Lauren says, damn, that sucks, Tia. They guac is just okay. That's funny, right? Damn, that guac is just like, it ain't even got no flavor. That shit is crazy. What does Miss Bum say? I agree with Tia. Being the prize is subjective or relevant to the people involved. Yeah, but that means y'all agree with me. I said it's case by case. Tia says, depending on the woman, he might be. Some women stay with men who they know cheat on them because they're taken care of financially. Just depends on what that person accepts. What you agree with that or disagree?
Definitely agree
Yeah.
that women stay with men who cheat. Listen, one could argue that if all of the men are, I don't say all, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm be honest. I believe most men are cheaters. Not all of them, but most of them.
Hmm. Hmm.
So one could argue if you're gonna deal with somebody who's doing that, he needs to have something of benefit that's worth staying around.
Hmm.
'Cause it's worse to be sleeping with somebody who broke and can't do shit for you and he cheating, you know? Like, what am I getting done dirty for? Ain't no fucking rewards out of this shit, ain't no benefits. Okay.
That's funny. You know what I be wondering too when I think about these conversations. I hate that I be like, I overthink things. So part of me can agree that most men or that men are more likely than not to cheat. But then I'm like, I can't. The only thing that gives me pause is that there are so many ethnicities of men where it's not even a part of their culture. You know what I'm saying? They would probably never cheat.
Yeah. I speak on my culture. The men in my culture cheat a lot.
Hmm.
They don't commit to women often.
Hmm.
They don't care about like nuclear families like that and marriage, and they just don't care. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna deal with that group of men, then yeah, I would say yeah, he gotta be able to provide. Because then what the fuck? Like what do you just bring in disappointment and pain? Nobody needs that.
Damn. And shit. Yeah. That. But you know, I think just I guess keeping it on black people with that part of the conversation. I think it's part of the black culture. I think it's I can't I don't know how to determine this, but I know it's prevalent in black culture because just gotta say it, these black women, they be busting it open for real niggas. Whether they're in a relationship or married, they be busting that shit wide open. Uh,
Wait. So okay, so when you say black women, it's kind of
mhm.
like you're blaming the women.
No, not at all. I'm not saying it at all. I'm saying I think in terms of people cheating, um, I think is prevalent in our society. Is it's when you say it's most men, I don't have a way to refute that, so I can't disagree with that. But it's a lot of women. It's not most women though. It's a lot of women too. I just want to always state both sides of it. That it's a lot of men, but it's a lot of women. I think it's more men for sure, but it's a lot of women. It's a lot of women. The funny thing is, every time I bring this up to women, not every time, a lot of times, they be like, "Not my friends," and I'm just like, "Yes, your friends too. They just don't tell you because you probably gonna judge them. But yeah, absolutely, your friends, absolutely." They be married as fuck and be the married people are the most available. And I'm not talking about men.
But then think about it. Doesn't that make marriage seem less appealing? Because I'm not gonna lie,
Hmm.
I have two married friends. They are like the most loneliest women,
Hmm.
and they'll tell you it's no shade to them, but they'll confide in their friends and tell them like, "Oh, you're not. I'm in the same position as you," and you'll be like, "What? You married?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, but what does that mean?" Like they feel very much by themselves. So maybe that's why they're behaving like they're by themselves because they are with men who maybe don't pay attention anymore, or he's not that invested anymore, or whatever it is, or they're
Hmm.
still kind of struggling a lot financially
Hmm.
by themselves, work busting their ass, and so they're kind of looking like, well, they feel single. I have
Right.
two of my friends tell me that they feel lonely, like straight up.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It's funny that how that can happen. I just know so many single people, so many people in relationships that are single. It's crazy.
Wait, say it again.
I know so many people in relationships that are single. Like they're in relationships, but they single as fuck. You know what I'm saying? They mingling. I'm telling you, they are
I
fucking.
know, I've seen it. The reason women say not my friends is because it's true. Our friends do hide things
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want to be judged. Like the one time I found out one of my married friends was sleeping with the trainer at the gym. I
Mm-hmm.
was with her every day. I never
Mm-hmm.
knew that shit until he uh he did something to her, and she couldn't take it anymore and wanted to talk about it. But yeah, I was like, wait, you slept with him? And we be seeing him every day. You never, because she brought it up, and I was like, nah, you shouldn't do that. So I guess she did it anyway, but she never said nothing. And then she let him borrow some money or something, but dumbass. Of course, he never gave it back. And then he was just at the gym doing all type of shit in front of her face. So at that point, when she was mad enough, then she spilled all the tea. But that's when I knew, like, damn, you don't know what your friends be doing.
You don't, and a lot of people won't admit that. You just don't know. Like had that not gone down like that, you wouldn't have known. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like that's why I always, whenever we talk about men being cheaters, I have to put it on the record that women are wild as fuck too. Cause you know what I'm saying? Niggas are sweat at, oh, you up there letting the women say XYZ? And nah, I just want to make sure we telling both sides of the story. Niggas are grimy, but women are grimy as fuck too. I mean, like, married women don't make you use no condom type shit. Like, just wild.
Damn, that is fucking wild.
Wild. Uh, Look at Lauren. Say, I would say my man is the prize. I better be his or else. All right. See, me and Lauren, we agreeing on something again today. Uh,
But you never play music in the back. It just feels so quiet. You see in your
oh,
studio, got that little bit of music you can play,
oh
like,
yeah,
if you want to.
oh yeah. I got some music song. Let me see if I have some nice, fucking stimulating fucking music in the
I don't
background.
know if it's me. Just when it's dead quiet, I'll be like, why?
Let's see. Is this
Shiesty, this is a fact. Shiesty said everybody got a married man in their DMs. It's a fact. It's a fucking fact. I got a couple for real, but that's another story.
It's funny. You know what I'm saying? The
Married
question
niggas stay in the DMs. They are ridiculous.
is, hey man, look. So I mean, so look, so I don't know. That's why I got so many questions about marriage. Like, is marriage even realistic? You know what I'm saying?
I think it is. I still have hope. I do. Because I'm thinking about long term, old age, going through trials and tribulations. Do you really want to do that whole existence by yourself?
Oh,
Or
I
would it be
agree.
nice to have like a life partner, like a life, somebody who's going to be there for support
Hmm.
when things get really, because we're going to get older, age is going to hit us, hardship, all that stuff. Everything's way more difficult by yourself. Unless you have somebody who's just making the situation worse. In that case, leave that nigga alone.
Right. I agree with the companionship portion of it, but I mean, is it realistic in terms of like expecting somebody to be faithful for life? For life. But some
I mean,
people actually.
maybe I'm naive, but I thought people were capable of that. Now I'm feeling like maybe they aren't. I have no idea.
Hmm. I don't know. That's why I'm like, a lot of times I do feel like it's more likely than not that people will cheat. Because I've been in so many situations where women cheated. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of dudes don't admit that, but I have. I've actually been in those situations. I've been in situations where women cheated on me and where I cheated with women who were in relationships or married, whatever the case may be. And I'm not bragging about that.
You just be with all of the cheaters, man.
I'm just saying, like, it's just, I think it's a very prevalent thing. So, just kind of my opinion on that. But I do know that some people are really good people. Some people are really trustworthy. Um, yes, absolutely. I do think, I think it's important for a man to get a lot of shit out of his system too before he really gets into a committed situation. I think that's important.
No, I'm down with the Bible. I kind of think, like, if I could take it back, I would be a virgin. I swear. Because I think when you say for a man to get stuff out of his chest, right? I think
Mhm.
I get why you say that, but then I think the more you expose yourself to, the more perverted you become.
Mm.
Like the more you engage in sex and the different things you try, and then you could get to a point where you need all of this other extra shit for you to enjoy the acts because you just engage in so much, as opposed to if you were like, I get the original premise where like that was a virgin, you were the virgin, and y'all just have each other to experiment and grow sexually. That prevents diseases. I'm saying in a perfect, like how they used to do it. And if you really weren't stepping out, you don't have nothing to compare to but each other, and go that way, as opposed to a nigga who been out here just having all type of freak shit happening for him. And then it's going to be way harder for him to commit to one woman when he's used to all of this other sexual stuff. So I don't know about that.
I can see both sides of that, but I can't disagree.
Same for women too. Like it goes both ways. If a woman is out here, got men.
Well, not the man or woman side. I mean, like I could see where it could get out of a man's system, like everything you said, and I can also see how that could mean that he just has that appetite. You know what I'm saying? I could, as a person who's, you know what I'm saying, who's dealt with that, like I could see how it's just like, you know, you just. I always said I had an addiction to varietal vagina. Like I've never been addicted to anything else, and I'm not. When I say addicted, I wasn't addicted. Like I never paid for no sex and no shit like that. I wasn't.
A lot of men talk like that. Like they want to explore several different women.
Yeah. So I didn't have an addiction. I had a habit, a varietal vagina habit. So yeah, I think more people than would actually admit have that thing too, where it's just like you just get so used to it, and you get so used to not having to commit to anyone because it's like it's just a variety. It's just like whatever day of the week it is, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be next to something warm and wet. You know what I'm saying?
Tommy B talked about that. Like when he was in the streets, he said that he was like, "Yo, I had to stop because it was getting to the point you start to look at women like they're not even women, like they're just something to use, like you." So yeah, I just think that lifestyle has a lot more negative effects than positive on men and women. If you do want to like actually settle down with somebody,
yeah, it can for sure. But you know what's real though? I think like even at this point in my life, it's just like it you've done so much. Like I don't have to be thirsty. Like having access to women, you know, when I'm talking about when, you know, the times when I'm single, I'm not talking about now. You get to a point where it's just like you don't have to be thirsty. You don't have to do extra. I'm not spending a bunch of money to take women before now. I'm not talking about now. I'm not spending a bunch of money to take women out to get to know them. I'm not going clubbing and shit to try to meet women. I'm not paying for pussy. I'm not going to strip clubs. I'm not doing none of that shit because I've done it. Everybody.
No, I mean, in terms of just sexually, what? Not saying you, right? Because it might not be you, but the next, like, in terms of just what it takes to sexually satisfy that man who's had so much variety.
I agree.
Just that part.
I agree with you on that.
Not that he would be thirsty. I don't think so because he done it all. But he would be now like, this normal shit don't do it for me because I've done it all, right?
I see how that can be a thing. That's not the case for me, to be honest, because you got some good sex is still good sex. You know what I'm saying? You know what's funny? You could do a bunch of numbers, and a lot of it was mid. Or let's say I had sex with 200 women. 100 something of them could have been one time or two times. You know what I'm saying? So it really wasn't a lot of experiences per se. It was a lot of single experiences type shit. So I think that you can still meet women. I know for sure. Like you can still meet women, and the sexual experience can be amazing. So what you're saying is true for sure.
Or if you, let's say you're that man who had all those experiences, and you never had to really court nobody. You never got to put effort in for a woman because you just are so used to getting them. Then you won't be the type, in my opinion, the type of man that like in a relationship, how the woman will want the man to be. You're the kind of man that's like, what? I'm used to getting way more for way less. So you don't want to show up in those other ways because you never had to. I just think it's problematic. I do.
Yeah, I think that's true at a certain point in your development. I think that's very true what you just said. Because it's just like I ain't got to do that shit. But you know what? To be fair, it depends on your lifestyle. Because you know, high school, college, after college, all that shit was shorty come through. I wouldn't. Nobody was. It's no dates. It's no dates. It's you coming through there, or I'm coming through here. You know what I mean? It's no other. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So I guess it depends on what point you are in your developmental phase. You know, let's see. Travel once said men are manipulating women now because black men have said over and over they are the prize. Mind games, not buying it. Last word on it for now. Some men are manipulating women for sure.
Oh, let me tell you another thing.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, you were gonna say something?
No, I'm listening.
All right, so when it comes to sex toys with women, right?
Mhm.
I was told if a woman uses sex toys too much, it could be the same problem. She could like desensitize herself
Yes.
because these are machines, right? And then now it's harder for her to enjoy the normal act with a man because she's so used to stimulating herself with these machines. So that's I don't know. I just be thinking about a lot of shit. Like too much of either could just end up. It make all of that stuff at the end of the day makes it hard for you to bond with one person. Bottom line on either side.
That happened to somebody I know. What you said about overuse of the toys, and it affected her like physically, like how she had to go to the doctor type shit. Shout out to her. I know she's listening.
God damn. Go to the hospital. Why?
I think she got desensitized or something. I forgot exactly how it happened. But something happened where her button was permanently on. It was some wild shit.
That shit didn't feel
Gotta
nothing.
get
It
clarity of it.
was dead.
But she definitely malfunctioned because of the functions. You feel me? And so she had to back off of using them. Yeah.
I found this out because of my married friend, right? Speaking about lonely,
Hmm.
she was telling me her husband had a problem with her using the toys because of that. Like he could tell it wasn't affecting her the same what he was doing because she was using the toys so much.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, that and watching porn a lot, it can affect you. It can desensitize you. I gotta say, it absolutely can. I would have disagreed before, but yeah, it absolutely can. Lauren says she's never been in a full fight. She's been hit back. I know I'm like mad far behind on these comments, but that is hilarious. Tia Marie got windmilled on when she was 9 or 10, visiting her aunt out of town. She went in the house crying and she put me right back outside and said, I better handle her. Yeah. Has anybody ever told you that? Like, you know, anybody
My
older?
brother threatened me.
Yeah.
There was this girl when I was little who beat me up, and I could never win. We fought so many times, right?
Mhm.
And then my brother got sick of that shit. So one day he took me outside. He was like, either you gonna beat her ass or I'm gonna beat yours. I bet you I won that day because I was like, hell nah, I don't want him to beat me up.
That's funny. Kim says she never had a fight. She'd probably get beat up, no training. I realize that about people. Like some people have never had a fight. Some people haven't had a fight in years or decades. I ain't had a fight in a long time. But we always say, man, I'm gonna fuck him up. But we never say, man, I'm about to go over here and confront this nigga. He might beat my ass. Nobody ever. Why is that so hard to say? Why is it in every situation they be like, I'm gonna call my brother, or your brother gonna get his ass beat the fuck up. Your brother ain't as tough as you think he is. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. Nobody ever says when they get into some shit that they may get their ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how that works. And I think this is more common than we like to admit. People that have never even had a fight, but think they finna go beat somebody up in their first fight. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland was more fighting than shooting, says Matthew Pearson. Shout out to Cleveland. I love Cleveland. Lauren Mack said, my mom told me to always hit first because I'm short. Lauren, how short are you? How short are you? So Lauren is a little person, so she should hit first. She said, aim for the chin. Never got to act it out. The one time I got hit, she hit me from behind and I hit her in the ear. They pulled us apart. I don't even know if Lauren is still here. This was 20 minutes ago. Matthew said, "Yeah, I've been hit with one of them handheld small bats, fighting them, fighting them frat niggas at a college icebreaker. They caught me slipping. God damn." Shout out to Chris in the building. Shout out to Chris. Yeah. What? Let me ask you a question. This is a random question before I get to the other comments. Who do you think, if you had to guess, is the prettiest of all of our what do you call them? What do you call the sugar bums and stuff? What are they called? Trolls. I don't want to call them trolls. Who do you think is
I
probably
don't know how any of them look.
our anonymous friends?
I can't say.
That's funny.
And I have 3 that are all my babies. I can't even answer because it's Robin, DB, and Sugar Bum. So if I say one, I can't even do that. I have to stay
Yeah.
true to the sisterhood. They're all beautiful. I don't know.
We got to add Travel One to that list too, right now.
I don't think Travel One is a troll though. Is she? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, you know, I'll say our what do you call it? Our anonymous friends. How about that? I won't call them trolls. They're not trolls. They're not just trolls.
I just feel like Robin M and Sugar Bum be giving like bad bitch tea.
Yeah, that's
Like
funny.
the way they talk. And I feel like they be having the long hair and the nails and the whatever.
Yeah. Tia Marie said, "People don't realize that marriage should be viewed as a verb." Damn, that's deep. That's too deep for my brain on this beautiful Sunday afternoon.
Oh wait, Sean, I gotta drop down, but if you're here in like 20 minutes, I'll be back.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Damn, that's a deep one, Tia. Marriage is a verb. Shout out to Cody. Absolutely. Let's see what Kim said. Kim said, "Lord, I lived in a military town, and I have thousands of stories about married men and women you wouldn't believe." Yeah, absolutely. I keep hearing about the military situations, Kim, and how scandalous that shit is. Men and women. Men and fucking women. Cody, what that means is married men are thirsty, dry tongue and shit. That's funny. Let's see. My bad, y'all. I know I'm trying to catch up on these goddamn comments. Shout out to B Sammy in the building. Shout out to my boy Big Mook Fossa in the building. You feel me? R&B bandits, we in this bitch. Big Mufasa said, "Last time I was in a fight, I bench pressed 420 pounds. Ask me if I'm that strong now, even though I still feel that way." Hey, that's real shit though, Big Mufasa. Like, man, niggas ain't been in a fight in decades, man. And it's funny about our brains. Your brain will tell you, man, nah, fuck a nigga up. You know what I'm saying? Whole time, the nigga pat your ass up, get you up out of here real quick. You know what I'm saying? You know how, like, as you get older, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was a basketball player. You know what I'm saying? And when you play basketball as you get older, or sport, I assume sports in general, but I'm talking about basketball. Me playing basketball now, I can still see the moves in my head. Like, I see exactly what I should do or what I would have done 20 years ago. But let me tell you something about your body. Your motherfucking body, that move ain't gonna be crisp like you think it. That shit, that spin move ain't spinning the way you spin. You hear me? That shit don't spin the same, big dog. It just don't. And so I imagine that's what fighting is like 20 years after you had your last fight. Motherfucker think them hands is nice, and it's just like motherfucker hit you with the pow-pows and shit, and your ass take a quick nap. You feel me? I don't know. Niggas better stop talking hot on this. Motherfucker better stop talking hot on these YouTube streets, get their ass beat up in real life. You feel me? Oh, man. Probably said some shit is suspect. Man. But, yeah, man. So, look, I got a couple things I want to tell y'all about before we get up out of here. First off, I told y'all about something that I am doing. Give me a sec. Ah, fuck, that hurt. I got a couple things I'm doing. Right. The first thing that I'm going to be kicking off very soon is, let me take this comment down. First thing I'm gonna be kicking off very soon is this. Right. It is called the pitch deck. And let me put my face somewhere. Where's my face? Okay, so what the pitch deck is going to be an opportunity for anyone, especially minorities, especially Black people. Let me say that. Anyone who wants to pitch their ideas to us, a business idea. And the goal of that is to, let me move this out of the way. So if you want to pitch your business ideas, there will be a panel of us. What will happen is if your idea is approved, what we would try to do, we would try to crowdfund some, some money. You would have access to that money, and you would have a mentor for a certain period of time. So let's just say you have let's say you want to start let's just say a clothing business, because that's what I do. You want to start a clothing business. I know how much $3,000, $2,000 will help you. And so let's just say you present your business and we like your designs, we like your whatever. The goal would be, all right, can we crowdfund, let's just say $2,500, to give you access to help you get your business launched. So along with that, you would get mentoring too. And this is not an exchange for equity or ownership or anything like that. It's just something that I want to do to show that we can practice group economics, and we can crowdfund to help one another. Right. So if you want to be a part of that on either side, if you want to be a person that's on a panel, let's just say that you'll have $50 that you're willing to put in a pot to help somebody who has a good idea. Whatever the amount is, that's totally up to you. If you are somebody who you're going to have an idea that you want to present, that you want to pitch, then I would like you to do one of two things. I want you to either DM me on Instagram, Sean_Antonio, or you can text me. The number that you can text, and don't be playing on my phone. The number that you can text is 773-403-0668. Don't play on my phone. I'm gonna block you. Right? But if you are interested in either being a person that's going to present a business idea that hopefully we can get funded, or if you're a person who wants to be on the other side and actually help, put a few dollars towards somebody's business, then please reach out to me. Once again, that number is 773-403-0668, or just DM me on Instagram, whatever the case may be. And once again, that is for the pitch deck. All right. The other thing is one of my other shows, the main show that I've been working on. I'm looking for the artwork to it. The main show that I've been working on is called Mimosas with Moguls. Now, you all may end up getting a follower request on Instagram from that, and I just want you to know that is absolutely me. And my first two guests, give me a second, y'all. I'm trying to get the video. My first two guests will be two of my best friends, my line brothers, Larry and Kari. So I want you to know that they're businessmen. They're very successful. I want y'all to see how dope my goddamn invitations are to them. Hold on. My invitation. So my boy Carr is going to be one of my first guests on the show, Mimosas with Moguls, because I don't want to. My channel is not meant to have a bunch of panels. It's really not. I'm just doing that right now because I'm just working towards getting to 500 subscribers and getting the watch hours. But it's not going to be that. We're going to have a lot of real in-person stuff with real people. Just to give you a bit of my boy Carr's story, which he'll tell you. I've had him on Aaron O's channel and on Lucky's channel before. He'll tell you he's an investor. He became a millionaire before 40, but he's the most down-to-earth, humble, helpful person that you could meet. He's not a dickhead. He's not a douchebag or anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a good conversation with Akari. Also, my other brother, Larry. Akari's from Chicago, like myself. My brother Larry is straight out of goddamn DC. You feel me? And so these are people can't wait for y'all to meet my brothers, man. Can't wait for y'all to meet my guys. So my interviews are going to be in person. If you are a boss, if you are a mogul, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a person who has a great corporate job and you want to be a guest, now bear in mind this is in person. If you want to be a guest on that show, once again, I gave y'all my number. That's my real number. Don't play on my phone though. 773-403-0668. Tap in with me, right? But I just want y'all to know what I got coming up. So all this shit you see, this panel shit, it's not my thing. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's gonna be real life shit, real life content for real life people. Hopefully you can get something out of it. Hopefully we can help you in some way in terms of the pitch deck. Hopefully you have ideas that you want to get crowdfunded. You know what I'm saying? So hope y'all support that type of shit. B Sammy says, Sean, when you going to start doing the fun? I'm confident that that's going to start in May. I'm confident that it's going to start in May. So, man, I appreciate you saying you want to help with that, Sammy. Send me a text, bro. That's my number, 773. I'll put it in the chat. It's my number, man. It's my real number. I know a million people ain't gonna see this, so I don't mind putting my number in here. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got 10 million viewers and shit, so I ain't gotta worry about no weird shit. But yeah, just tap in with me. And yeah, let's make this happen. I know my boy Fatty is scheduled to go live at 2 p.m. I just wanted to get on here real quick and, get this in. But I know we're about to go over to Team Fatty and tap in with Fatty at 7:30 p.m. Central. We're going over to Lucky Show. So, man, I appreciate y'all for coming through. I look forward to being more consistent on here. You feel me? So thank y'all, and I will see y'all probably tomorrow. Peace.